Joining me now for more from Kabul is political analyst Zmaryalai Abasin. Good to have you on the program. The Taliban, as we can see, is continuing to make rapid gains in the country and some of the fiercest fighting we've seen in a long time. How much longer will government forces be able to hold out in these key cities?
Well, hello. This is a rough and very hard situation for all around the country, particularly the civilians in Afghanistan. And as we see, the very intense period of war has already waged and started. According to the recent reports, only on during the recent 6 months, more than 1,600 people are killed in Afghanistan, and the casualties are increased to 80%. So if we see the situation, we are going to another bloody era, and it will intensify as days pass. Currently, as I'm talking to you, more than 5 cities are surrounded by the very heavy attacks of the Taliban. Herat, Lashkargah, and at the same time Maimana are the most intense cities according to the war. But 6 months, it's as we see as the hardest time for Afghanistan, and it will intensify as days pass. And both of the sides indirectly got these messages. President Ashraf Ghani has already said that yes, he emphasized on this, that they will get ready for 6 months and it will conclude the war and peace era in Afghanistan. At the same time, when you see Taliban offensives, they also think the same way, and they are escalating their attacks on the cities. Now, it seems like it's turned from the Taliban side to attacks on the central cities, which I've already mentioned. And of course, it will bring casualties. But the question remains very important, that what about the civilians? The only side that will face the more of the destruction and hardest times as the civilians. And of course, if the war continues, there will be more casualties for the civilians, including the Taliban and NDSF forces. So let's think about this. How can we conclude this war?
Right, and what is the situation like for civilians? What kind of humanitarian situation are we potentially looking at here?
If we hear the stories from all around the countries, particularly in the cities that is already facing the hardest times of the war, people are in an extreme era and situation of fear and phobias. A lot of the civilians are killed. Most of women and killed are included, as if the recent reports of today's regarding Afghanistan war. So the humanitarian situation is also in a very critical situation, and the saga that is continuing in the country, mostly, as I said, the people are affected by these efforts. So do any side think about these situations that Afghan people are facing? The international society seems very silent in Afghanistan's current situation, particularly the United States is the biggest ally of Afghanistan's government, and wholly in recent 20 years. So who will step up? Everybody looks like they are seeing what may happen in Afghanistan, and unfortunately there is no innovation about peace talks.
Okay, and we're going to leave it there for now. Zmaryalai Abasin joining us from Kabul. Thank you.